move convincingly onto the back foot and pick your spot. And that's making the difference. You need energy. You need a bit of speed, and Nouman Ali is able to create that for Pakistan. Mind you, we're talking about a slow pitch which doesn't zip through.
Yeah, for both these batsmen, surprisingly, he has changed his line. He's targeting the leg stump. Maybe the reason for that, the captain has given him a short leg now. I think he'll be better served attacking middle and off rather than the leg stump.
Probably being greedy for big turn. But you're right, he's got more results around that off stump area. 113 for 4.
पैंटीन, जिसमें है चावलों का पानी और प्रो विटामिन फॉर्मूला जो हेयर फॉल कम करे सिर्फ 14 दिन में। पैंटीन, बाल गिरे कम तो खुद।
बिजनेस बढ़ाना चाहते हो तो ऐसा अकाउंट लो जो अनलिमिटेड प्री ऑर्डर्स और फ्री चेक बुक्स दे, जैसे HBL फ्रीडम अकाउंट। बिजनेस बड़ा हो या छोटा, हर बिजनेस को आसान बनाए।
The holes were getting bigger. It can be annoying for a fast bowler who's running in and giving his all. Yes, suddenly what we have noticed here, Russell, batting has become easier. The ball is not turning that sharply, what we saw before lunch. But that has been the norm, hasn't it, throughout the test match? After 30th over in each innings, batting has become easier.
Ball softens up, and also you're wearing the opposition bowlers down, so there's a bit of tiring that comes in. But did you see that replay, Prime? The guy just missed his own toe. Shaheen Shah Afridi into his 11th over, none for 41. You'd think he's been a bit expensive. Economy rate above 4. But where have Sri Lanka scored their runs against him? Just a couple down the ground. He's tried to look for swing, but a lot of edges through that slip cordon. He actually should be very happy with his results, with how he's gone about it. Not lucky enough for one of those edges to go to hand. There have been plenty going past that edge, and when he's found it, unfortunately, no fielder.
Yeah, it was Madushka who was able to drive him through extra cover thrice in this innings. Once again featuring in a longer spell, Shaheen Shah Afridi. Proving his fitness.
Starts for Karunaratne, for Mendes. Nishan Madushka, of course, got his first test half century. He's gone past 50 once before, ended up with a 200. So that records as 100.
Russell, I need some help. Because at the moment, I'm a bit confused with this field placing. Shaheen Shah Afridi is bowling around the stumps. He's looking to create an angle. And that angle is supposed to bring the ball back to the batsman. Why? Short extra cover and short point. Chance.
I think the slow ball is in play, but he had to work very, very hard. Survive torrid periods of fast bowling, the ball going past him on many occasions. We mentioned Shaheen Shah Afridi conceding runs towards third man. It was all good bowling. Quietly against the spinners, he looked better, Madhushka. But when he needed to kick on, got a little loose and paid the price.
I need your help. I asked you a question. Please answer that. I'm trying to make sense of this.
And again to third man. He's trying to invite the batter to drive. I do feel he might bring the slower ball into play where it could be hit slightly aerial in that area. Chandimal too was out driving in the first innings. His front foot went nowhere. Nicked to the slips. Unlike in the first innings, a lot of the edges going straight down.
And that was sliced off the face of the bat. I think Babar Azam will be better served if he places himself at short mid-wicket, because this angle has a potential of creating a chance on the onside rather than extra cover or short point.
This is what I'd hate to think. With Sri Lanka getting closer to that 149, they're still 32 behind. Is Babar Azam thinking runs? Because he's already put a deep point in place. That's a little defensive for this situation.
हारी और तेल का तड़का अब इन्हें सिर्फ एक चक्कर में करेगा साफ नया एरियल
जिसमें है क्लीनिंग बूस्टर जो करे जिद्दी दाहों का सफाया।
मैडम आपकी स्प्राइट
एक इसको भी देना और कहना कि ठंडा
स्प्राइट लगा ठंडा।
बिजनेस में रवानी चाहते हो तो ऐसा अकाउंट लो जो सैलरी और दीगर पेमेंट्स बआसानी ऑनलाइन ट्रांसफर करे, जैसे HBL फ्रीडम अकाउंट। बिजनेस बड़ा हो या छोटा, हर बिजनेस को आसान बनाए।
runs, still adrift Sri Lanka. Lost 4 wickets. They got Samara Vikrama to come in, then Ramesh Mendis. Then you're basically down to the tail. A lot of mind games going on. Different kinds of field placements. Different lines of attacks. Pakistan trying to think out of the box. Noman Ali has been brilliant. 3 for 19 into his 12th over. Nice use of the feet. Very positive intent by Dhananjay De Silva. Gets a single.
Feel that Noman Ali wakes up in the second innings of a test match, or on day 4, day 5. He's at his best when he gets assistance from the pitch. The fact that he's accurate and sort of lowers his arm to get that angle, and if the ball then grips and spins, he becomes a difficult customer to handle. After many a years, I've seen Pakistan feel this brilliantly. Outstanding catching. They haven't spilled a catch yet. Moments created, opportunities created, options created and grabbed.
Noman Ali was very good against the Sri Lankan batters. Just take a look at this battle between Madhushka and Noman Ali.
Yeah, accurate. Getting the ball to spin and just varying his direction a little, targeting the stumps, giving him the impression that he's going to target the stumps, and then he just couldn't resist himself. Got behind, very good catch by the keeper, by the way. Lovely pair of hands from Sarfraz.
I think the accuracy just outside, but almost the same spot. The length was perfect. It's got him sucked into it. Really clever bowling from Noman Ali. Passes the man at point. That's a boundary to end the over. 123 for 4.
डैंड्रफ का डर हमेशा सर पे सवार। ले आओ हेड एंड शोल्डर्स जो जड़ तक जाए ताकि डैंड्रफ वापस ना आए। हेड एंड शोल्डर्स कंधे से बोझ हटा दे।
Right, they got Samara Vikrama coming in next, then down to Ramesh Mendis, the all-rounder. Sri Lanka will need a massive effort from this pair of batters. That last ball was dragged down short and wide. Not sure the effort was great here.
डैंड्रफ का डर हमेशा सर पे सवार। ले आओ हेड एंड शोल्डर्स जो जड़ तक जाए ताकि डैंड्रफ वापस ना आए। हेड एंड शोल्डर्स कंधे से बोझ हटा दे।
Sri Lanka will not want to be tied down too much. They'll have to search for runs. It's not about just occupying the crease. They also need to accumulate. Oh, a little bit uppish. He played it off the pitch, read it off the pitch basically.
It's a very good variety that he possesses. The top spinner, he attempts the wrong one, but it doesn't spin a lot usually, so it just bounces more. Oh, that's the other one. You somehow got to pick him off the hand, otherwise he can create an issue for you. A fair bit of sleight of hand, and you see the ball almost bowl like a top spin. Hence that extra bit of lift and life.
Think of the way where the traditional wrong one would be bowled with your wrist, back of the hand. And you look at these grips where you don't really use the wrist, so to speak, but it's all the fingers. But you still get same amount of response and turn. It's amazing where this game is at the moment, the development. You look at the likes of Rashid Khan, who used to do that with different kinds of grips, and now here, Abra Ahmed.
Yeah, that's the leg spinner. But you haven't played him, then it takes a little bit of time adjusting to his variations in guile. Still feel that long on fielder has got to come in. Especially when Chandimal was struggling to pick him off his hand, that fielder was still back and allowed him a single, and so the pressure that was building up nicely on Chandimal has been released.
$124 for 4.
मैडम आपकी स्प्राइट।
किसको भी देना और कहना कि ठंडा।
स्प्राइट लगा ठंडा।
बिजनेस में आसानी चाहते हो तो ऐसा अकाउंट लो जो हर शहर में आसानी से चेक क्लियर करे, बिल्कुल फ्री, जैसे HBL फ्रीडम अकाउंट। बिजनेस बड़ा हो या छोटा, हर बिजनेस को आसान बनाए।
Now 25 runs. Madhushka gets his maiden half century to go with the 100 or the double 100 he has with Ireland. Chandimal and Dhananjay together. 25 of 42. It's been a testing time for the Sri Lankan batters. Pakistan have really exerted a lot of pressure on the Sri Lankan batters with some control bowling. And has been brilliant. 3 for 25. He's lived up to what is expected of him as a left-arm spinner. To start with, he's bowled that line, that economical line that's difficult to score runs. Generally the insurance, the left-arm spinners who would come on and tie a batter down. Also he's complemented it with wickets. Well, just a small explosion. We've seen some massive ones in the past at Galle. Been much better, this surface. We've seen surfaces that have crumbled, started to explode, lots of cracks, but in fairness, this surface hasn't still thrown that up as yet.
With his low bowling action, I think he'd want that little bit of explosion to happen every now and then, because otherwise you can size him up. He'll not surprise you with extra bit of lift because of the bowling action that he has. So he has to get something out of this pitch, something like that, that bounce just a little bit more, and that can be disconcerting. So probably in first innings he can be sort of tamed a little compared to second innings exploits, where the pitch does something in favor of him, and then he comes into life and does his bit.
And the pace he's bowled. The low 80s have been perfect. Has a little bit more energy rather than firing the ball in. But he's also mixed it up. What we haven't seen is the one that he brings in with the arm that much. It's gone straight through. The odd ball has turned. Still driven.
He's got to fire it in compared to Sri Lankan left armour Jayasuriya. He's tall, so Jayasuriya is difficult to sort of pick that way, because there's hardly any variation when he's looking to bowl that straighter trajectory, whereas Noman from that slinging bowling action or low arm bowling action has to really go quick through the air to get that straighter one going. Nicely bowled, a little bit of flight and getting the outside edge of the batter. 1-6 for 4.
बिजनेस में तरक्की चाहते हो तो ऐसा अकाउंट लो जो ऑनलाइन पैसे आसानी से ट्रांसफर करे, बिल्कुल फ्री, जैसे HBL फ्रीडम अकाउंट। बिजनेस बड़ा हो या छोटा, हर बिजनेस को आसान बनाए।
Right. Plenty of discussions maybe talking about the way they should bowl if they get an opportunity in the second innings. The spinners of Sri Lanka, Amish Mendis and Prabhakar, some really good times here. Dhananjay Silva just playing it very late off the pitch, just waiting for it. See, one thing that Dhananjay has done, that he's looked to play even the slightly fuller deliveries of Abra, because he's bowling a bit slower off the back foot. So he's looking to read him, I think, off the pitch. Played a bit off the back foot. So far he's been good picking the leg break. That's better. He's gone a little bit fuller.
See, every batsman or batter will have its limitations. You've got to somehow make sure that you survive. Some will have formidable offside play, some will struggle to work the ball towards the leg side. So be it. That's true. Waited on that one and crashed it into the fence. Sri Lanka trail now by just 19.
Now 19 runs the deficit. It's very important that Sri Lanka pounces on anything loose like this boundary. Short and wide, very quickly onto it, gets that boundary, wipe off the deficit as quickly as possible. Then you start scoring runs, and then you have it in the bank to try and see what you could do. I always believe if Sri Lanka can get to a reasonable score, maybe get, if they can, don't want to talk too early, but like 160, 170 by lunch on day 5, I feel it might set itself up to a very good game. Provided, of course, the pitch deteriorates. If it remains flat and slow, the batters are bound to go out there and enjoy it.